Tassad's art is like finger painting, but with butter Frank's lambasting. Let's paint. Let's paint. No pain. Let's paint. Pat's got takes like ketchup on steak. Tommy's lost in a Josh Allen deep fake. Student body rights, yells in all caps. Not a reliable source, balance and free agent acts. Let's paint. No pain. Let's paint. No pain. We spill blue cheese on the playbook page. Break tables like it's the podcast stage. Sponsored by Wings, Bets, and Lakeside Fries. This pod's more bills than a Josh Allen high five. Let's paint. No pain. Let's paint. No pain. Let's paint. The Bills canvas.
For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliot Apollos, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.
Hello, and thank you for tuning into this Thursday edition of the Bills Canvas here on the Do Champions Media Network. I'm your host, Pat Bruckness. You can find me on Twitter at Pat_Bruckness. And always to my right is Tommy, and you can find him at Twitter at Tommy. Wherever everybody can find you.
Everybody can find me at Jamber T on Twitter and everywhere else at Tommy Jamber.
Hey, Tommy. So
Yes,
week
sir.
1 has concluded. The Bills won an all-time classic. It's about time that the Bills are on the right side of
Right.
an all-time game. Obviously, we're going to be getting into that here shortly, and as well as previewing the Bills' next matchup, which is Sunday night at MetLife. Not Sunday night. 1 p.m. kickoff against the Jets at MetLife Stadium. And just get out of that game healthy. We'll talk about that here shortly. But Tommy, first of all, I'm gonna let you take it away now because I know there's something that you want to talk about.
Yeah, I'm going right into Tommy's takes this week, and I'm actually calling out a quarter of the Bills Mafia for actually leaving that game early. I mean, that was kind of a disappointment. I mean, Josh Allen said, have faith in the team, man. I mean, when you have Josh Allen at quarterback, I mean, you're always in the game. And I just don't understand why people left early. I mean, it could be work related. If they had to go to work, then, I mean, I guess that's okay. But still, if you didn't have to work and you didn't have any reason to leave that stadium, you should have stayed, because that game was an instant classic. I'm going to call that actually the game of the year. I think that game should win some awards this coming year. So but yeah, that's my take. And I feel like, like I said, when you have Josh Allen in the game, you're always in the game, and that you just need to stay in the stands, cheer on the Bills, because they need us as much as we need them. So that's where I want to take this to start the show.
And I love that, Tommy, because even Josh Allen said, I know you touched on it after the game. He goes, I know there's some fans that left. It's okay, we'll be fine. But next time, have some faith. I mean, like you said, we do have a quarterback like Josh Allen, a high-powered offense, a Super Bowl contending team. This team has experience. This team has been in every situation that you can put this team in. And now this team has broke history with coming back from being down by 15-plus points with the final 4 minutes of the game and coming back and winning the game in regulation. That's never been done before. That's the first time in NFL history. And there's also a stat out there, which teams are 277-0 when they're up by 15-plus with 8 minutes to go.
And another thing, and people complain about the PSLs, about how they're going up and everything. And if you're complaining about that, then you need, like I said, you need to stay in the stadium and watch the game, because if you're complaining about that and then you want to leave, I mean, then
you're wasting money.
The point of complaining about the PSLs, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, you're wasting money when you do that.
Right.
Now, I'm the type of person, you stay until the game's over. because you never know what's going to happen. And this was, a great version of that. That's a great example of that. But yeah, stay in the stands, because I mean that game, I know we're gonna touch on it here in just a few seconds, but that game was a game where we played very good in the first drive, and we kind of like looks like we didn't want to show our playbook. I don't want to go too much into what I have to say about that game, but this was a game where it felt like we had a chance if we can just get that defensive stop, which we ended up getting.
Yep.
I don't know why people would want to leave this game. Sure, maybe it's because it was a Sunday night game. They have work the next morning.
Right.
But still, that was the game that we felt like we were in until the very end.
100%.
There was not one time where I'm kind of like, this game's over. No, because our defense was doing fine. It's just the big plays that we were allowed.
Yeah.
That being said, I think this would be a good time to recap the Week 1 all-time classic. And let's just talk about this game, Tommy. And my first initial thoughts are we got to be better at stopping the run.
Yeah.
So let's talk defensively first before we talk about Josh Allen and everything like that. So what are your overall thoughts and opinions? Then we'll go into our what we want to talk about.
Overall, I mean, I thought, when the secondary had a shot, I felt like the secondary did okay. It's just we got gashed by Derrick Henry. I mean, it's you can't keep allowing big gashes through holes and stuff like that. So like I am concerned about the run defense, but I mean, it's really hard to stop a Derrick Henry because at full speed, like he can go. So like when he hits the hole, it's hard to stop him, and it's hard to tackle him too because he's I'm 200 some pounds.
Yeah, he's 6'3", like 250.
6'3", 250. I mean, it's got to be hard to stop. I mean, I was impressed by that one stop when Ed Oliver ate him up and he just shoved him down. I mean, that's what we need to see more of. Like we need to see more of those type of plays to stop Derrick Henry. But like I said, like if you're getting gashed up with holes like that and he's just off running, and it's gonna be hard to keep up with Baltimore because I mean they are a powerhouse run team.
They are, and I know I said it on on our show on Thursday. I also said it on Third and Manageable. If you want to win this game, you got to shut down the run early or limit it. You cannot allow big plays because once you if you can't stop it, it's just going to open up the play action because you're going to have to key in on the run. That's what we saw in the first half. But I do want to touch on Matt's comment here. Got to sit in traffic anyways. Why not just stay at the game?
Yeah,
I agree. I mean, why not let it clear out? But we got another question here from Junior Farting. Allen is just built different. He's a machine.
I agree.
Yeah. Josh Allen is there's no doubt that he's the best quarterback in the NFL. What he can do, with his ability, not just to stay in the pocket, but his accuracy has gotten better each year. He's high completion percentage guy. I know obviously last year he had that game where he went 9 for 30 against the Houston Texans, but he was without his number one wide receiver. But Josh Allen's not, he's going to hover around that 61 to 69% completion percentage, which is very good in the NFL. And what he can do off script, when he rolls out, something's going to happen.
Right.
There's never a play is never dead when you have a quarterback like Josh Allen.
Right. Again, on the defensive side, I thought Dorian Strong had a really good game his first game. I mean, he had that one penalty, which I think that was a tic-tac call. But other than that, I think Dorian Strong like showed I think Bills fans and showed the team that he is capable of being a cornerback too in this league.
He is, and that's something that Sean McDermott and this coaching staff has done pretty well since Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott got here, and that's developed guys that were lower draft picks. Obviously, they helped develop Matt Milano to what he is now. Obviously, we get guys like Terrell Bernard, Christian Bedford, who was a 6th-round pick. Damar Hamlin. He's a serviceable starting safety, but he's not a starter for us anymore because of Cole Bishop. That's a guy that they really do want to start. And I feel like he had a good game as well. I'll touch on him here in a few seconds. But just developing guys, is something that this team has done well. I mean, and just taking waivers on players like a Micah Hyde and a Jordan Poyer. Which, obviously Jordan Poyer is here on the practice squad. Just what this coaching staff can do when they develop players, I have all the faith in the world they're going to develop Dorian Strong into a very nice, serviceable player.
Right. And
that's one thing with corners, Tommy. When you're a corner, just like when you're an offensive lineman, if your name is not called, it's a good thing. If your name is called, it's a bad thing. I mean, look, we saw Kyer Elam on Thursday Night Football, backing off the ball 10 yards, and he's being, he's being picked on. Dorian Strong, you didn't hear his name called much, minus that flag, which it was ticky-tack. I will agree with you there. And I just can't wait to see what he does week 2. I know,
Right.
obviously, we'll talk about the injury report for the Jets game here coming up shortly. But again, he looked good to me.
Right.
Him and Benford looked good. I was concerned when Benford, was slow to get up in the first quarter,
Yeah,
and then
I
he
was
got
a little
up. I'm like,
concerned about that too. Yeah, 100%.
okay, you don't need a Jamar out there.
I thought Joey Bosa had an okay game too. Like, I mean, he did get faked out on some of them read options where he should have just stayed at with the option at Lamar, and he kind of went with the running back. So he kind of like did that a couple of times. But other than that, I think he did good with pressures, and he I think, did he get Lamar down one time, Pat? Or I can't remember.
Joey Bosa did not get Lamar down, but he did have a few tackles.
He
And
did
to
have a
touch
few
on your
tackles,
point,
and I think he had some pressures too on him. So which was
he
good.
did.
So I think
I
he
will say,
had an okay game for his first game as a Buffalo Bill.
well, yeah, he definitely did. He was in on a few tackles, and he should have had a sack there on that 3rd and 19 in the third quarter. Him and Greg Rousseau both just couldn't bring down Lamar Jackson. And there's not a lot of quarterbacks, Tommy, that are going to be able to, escape, evade pressure like that after dropping back 20 yards. At one point, it probably was 3rd and 39. If we would have sacked him, it would have been probably like 4th and 39.
Yeah.
For him to drop back, and get out of Greg Rousseau and Joey Bosa, which are two elite defenders, is crazy to me. But, not again, that's why Lamar Jackson is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
100%.
Obviously, Josh is better, but Lamar, his ability to escape a pocket is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then to touch on your point about the options, for a guy who didn't play a lot in the preseason, obviously he didn't play in the second and third game. He played in the first game against the Giants for, I believe it was a quarter, but you're not really seeing that. You're seeing vanilla, you're seeing a vanilla game plan.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they weren't, the Bills don't game plan for preseason games. We know that. But, you could tell that he was getting baited on a few of those options where Lamar looked like
I noticed that.
One thing Lamar does very well is when he runs an option, if he wants to hand it to the running back, he will wait to the last second to pull it out.
Yeah,
that's where you see Joey Bosa, he takes that little step inside, which, Lamar reads that and is like, okay, I can take off. But I will say, as the game went on, Joey Bosa did a better job at defending the option.
He did, yeah.
He did a better job stopping the run in the second half.
Yeah, he did.
Which elite teams make good, make good adjustments in general.
Right.
So I was happy with what I saw there. And to speak on the defensive line guys like Ed Oliver, who had a career game, Chris Collinsworth, who I don't like, even said Ed Oliver made the Pro Bowl tonight. Tackling manhandling Derrick Henry in the backfield.
That play was unbelievable. He ate him up for lunch, man, when he tackled him down like that. And then making the play of the game on defense in that fourth quarter when he stripped that ball out of Henry's hand. I mean, Ed Oliver was the player of that game on defense, 100%. In offense you give it to Josh, but on defense Ed Oliver came to play.
Right, and that's what we've been needing from this defensive line is a guy who is going to, pardon my French, but a guy that's going to fucking eat when it matters the most.
Yeah.
When it mattered the fucking most, Ed Oliver came up big and made a play.
Yes, he did.
We need the same energy in the playoffs.
100%.
Against elite offenses, our defensive line shies away.
Yep.
What Ed Oliver did on Sunday night, was prove that he can be an alpha when he has the right pieces around him. We've been saying this for quite some time. If you give Ed Oliver a serviceable one tech, Ed Oliver will feast. Because let's be real here. Ed Oliver is what, 6'1". He's undersized for a defensive tackle. You give him a Deion Walker, a TJ Sanders, Daquan Jones is serviceable, or even a Jordan Phillips if we were to call him up from the practice squad.
Yep.
Ed Oliver is going to feast.
Eat. Yep, he's going to eat.
Right, and then having Greg Rousseau and Joey Bosa on the edge coming from the, giving the exterior pressure while Ed Oliver is wrecking it up in the interior.
Right.
It's all the recipes you need for success.
Right.
So I was very happy what I saw with the Bills pass rush situations. I felt like the Bills were getting a lot of pressure on Lamar Jackson. They brought him down 2 or 3 times.
Yep.
No, it's twice. I'm sorry. But they weren't in a lot of pass rush situations really until that final drive.
Yeah.
But even then, on that final drive, they ran the ball twice, and then they threw the ball on 3rd down. So, again, I don't want to preview the Jets too much right now, but I think it will be a similar game plan to what we're going to see Sunday.
Right.
Because they do have a good rushing attack. They do have a mobile quarterback. But that's basically the same, takeaway from the defensive side as you was got to be better at stopping the run. But in pass rush situations, our defensive line was very good. We were getting pressure.
Here we go with Matt says, hopefully he's not out too long. I agree, Matt. We can't afford to lose him for for like 3 to 4 weeks. I mean, hopefully he'll avoid the IR, but hopefully it's just precaution too, because he was in the locker room playing ping pong on that ankle. So like if he's doing stuff like that, then maybe it's just precaution, and maybe he gets a limited practice in tomorrow, and maybe we see him out on the field on Sunday.
Yeah, because I mean, like me and you talked about before we went live, Ed Oliver's a veteran guy. You know, we drafted him in 2019. I'm sure Sean McDermott will feel comfortable not playing him in practice, because as we know, the Bills practice hard in practice. They are physical in practice. Now, maybe it's a situation where they put him on a snap count, where we only see him in certain situations in the game.
Right.
I'm pretty sure if you're Ed Oliver, you want to be out there after a career game you just had last week.
Yeah.
Now, like you brought up the ping pong, hopefully, that's a good sign to things to come. Maybe it's not that serious, but they want to be more cautious. Because we know the Bills like to be cautious with certain injuries, especially earlier in the year, because we know where we're going to be come January and hopefully February.
Right.
I think we'll be there in February.
I do
but
too.
Something that Matt brought up to me last month, which is actually a very good point. You can't win the Super Bowl in August. You can't win a Super Bowl in September, but you can lose it.
Right.
So if Ed Oliver has to sit out this week, we can still beat the Jets without an Ed Oliver.
100%. Yeah. If he needs a week, then give him a week.
Right. Then if he means he has to play at 75% this week, but he can be at 100% next week, sit him out.
Yeah.
I trust the guys that we have, especially the Jets' offensive line being a little iffy, especially in the interior. Then obviously they just lost Tucker last week or 2 weeks ago for the season. So definitely would love to have Ed Oliver out there, but if he cannot go, it is fine. It might make it a little bit harder, but we still have enough guys to go out there and compete, which we'll probably call up a Jordan Phillips.
Right. Yeah.
Now, let's talk about the offense here, Tommy.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna let you go first. Let's start with that first drive of the game.
Yeah. I mean, we had rhythm in that first drive of the game. I mean, we were running with Cook. I mean, we threw some. Coleman got a catch, I think, in the first quarter, and then we got Knox involved early too. And then when we were at like their 30, I think their 30 or 35, Josh threw that nice touchdown to Kincaid, and that got us rolling. And we were it seemed like we were unstoppable that first drive. And then go second drive, we kind of got a little conservative because we went for 2 rushes, which usually we mix it up more. But I thought Brady got a little conservative with the 2 rushes to Cook where we didn't get that first down.
Yeah, starting with that first drive of the game, I'll touch on it too. It looked like we came out and we're trying to make a statement early that I don't care what kind of adjustments you made on defense, we are still a top 3 offense in the league.
Right.
And Josh Allen made it. It looked like he made it he made a point to get the ball to Kincaid early, get that confidence back. Because as we know, Josh Allen said he has to be better for Kincaid. Because obviously what happened last year, we're going to leave that in the past. But Kincaid was very motivated this offseason and was very focused in on football. And now we know that Josh Allen and the guys get together in the offseason with no cameras to get things done. And like I just said, Josh Allen said he has to be better for Kincaid. And you saw Josh Allen go Kincaid's way pretty often. Obviously, we'll break down the stats here after we recap the offense. Yeah. But Kincaid it looked like a drastic improvement. Obviously, it's only week 1. We got to see it as the season prolongs. But Kincaid looked very good.
He did. He was getting open. He was making the catches when he had to. And yeah, he looks well improved going into year 3.
He does. And that's one thing you want to see from a tight end. Year 2 to year 3, you want to see that jump. Yeah. You don't expect a Josh Allen type jump because not a lot of people can do that. Right. But you want to see improvements, and I think for Kincaid, it starts with being on the field for 17 games.
Right.
If he can do that, and Josh looks his way, or maybe Joe Brady schemes him open a little bit more. Let's see if he can use Kincaid's versatility to play outside. There's a few times last week we saw Kincaid on the outside.
Right.
And we had Jackson Halls and Dawson Knox on the inside. As your quote unquote normal position of tight end.
Right.
So then that second drive was very weird. I felt like Joe Brady, going 3 and out, running the ball 3 straight times. It's kind of like, are you trying not to show your hand? I'm trying to see how much you can get away with. But when you have momentum like that, you hold your team, you hold them to a field goal. You go back out there, you score again, make it 14-3.
I felt like he held. I think he held out something. I don't know what it was, but he should have let Josh sling that ball because that first drive he was slinging it and he was being accurate. He was getting guys open. Guys were catching the ball. Like he should have just kept driving in that second drive.
Yeah, he should have, because I mean, I feel like overall our receivers played very well. Obviously, again, we'll break down the stats here in just a few minutes.
Right.
But our offense was clicking on that first drive, especially for a team that did not starting offense that did not play in the preseason.
Right.
Obviously, some of the starters played, like Josh Palmer, Elijah Moore, and the offensive line played in the first game, but that's it in the preseason. So you're talking guys that have not had live game action reps in almost a month. They had that scrimmage against the Bears. It's a scrimmage. It's still not game speed when it matters.
Right.
It's different that's shout out to the front office for that. Getting the the continuity of the guys, keeping guys here long term. Draft, develop, and re-signing is Brandon Beane, and the front office's quota. Draft, develop, re-sign. We want to keep our own. And that's what you saw on the field is continuity, with the offensive line, James Cook, Ty Johnson, Kincaid, Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman even as well. But, guys like Josh Palmer did contribute.
Yeah, he did. He was getting open too, Pat. He was getting open. He was getting open, making catches. I think like I said, he's going to be a key guy for Josh Allen in this offense this year.
He is, because he's a natural separator. He's one of the best receivers in the league at separation. And that's what we needed last year in the playoffs. And that's what we needed in this game. And that's what we got, especially in that final drive. Now, let's talk coming out of half, because not much happened for us in the second quarter.
Well, actually, I do want to talk about one play before half. That play where Josh scrambled out to his left, threw that ball down to Kincaid, got out of bounds with 1 second. I mean, not a lot of teams can execute that, and I think that was a key play. That was one of the key plays of the game, because if we didn't get points there, we probably would have lost that game. For Kincaid to get out of bounds with 1 second left, and the referees had to tell Baltimore, "Hold on, Baltimore, get back."
Hold on, Baltimore.
And then for Prater to get out there and kudos to him too, because coming in, I mean, 3 days ago from that game, just coming in, learning the system, and having to come in and kick a crucial kick at halftime and making that kick, you got to give that guy credit, because he deserves it. Matt Prater, he's going to be a legend in this game. With all the kicks he's had with many teams, he's one of the best in the league. And making that kick at halftime, it was crucial, and that was probably one of the keys to the game for us to win that game.
No, you're right, because when you look at the final score, it's 41-40. If we don't make that field goal, who knows? Maybe on that final touchdown we go for 2, which obviously a lot of scenarios play out. Maybe the game turns out differently.
Yeah.
But you're right. That kick, getting that field goal before half mattered.
Yeah.
And me personally, with the way the Bills were lining up, I'm like, okay, they're just going to go Hail Mary, or they're going to try laddering the ball, whatever they're going to try to do. They see Josh Allen kind of drop back. He's leaning left, guns it to Kincaid. To make that throw with the time ticking down, that's continuity. That is chemistry between, the pass catcher and the quarterback. And
you got to give Kincaid credit there, because if he didn't go out of bounds, that the clock would have ran out. For him to go out of bounds at that moment, that was crucial. And you got to give credit to Josh and Kincaid to execute that before they had to get points.
Right. And if Tommy, I know you're a big fan of basketball. If the NFL had a basketball game clock, when Kincaid gets out of bounds, it's probably at 0.3 seconds.
Yeah.
It's not a second.
Right.
I mean, if he runs a third of a second slower, that play does not happen.
Right.
So, I mean, that was just a perfectly executed play, and, phenomenal. For Josh Allen to make that throw,
oh my gosh,
you got to zip that ball. Not a lot of quarterbacks can zip a ball like Josh Allen, if any. No. I don't think there is. Maybe besides Mahomes, but even still, Josh Allen's, he can zip it. He's the strongest arm in the league for obvious reasons. But what a play, to at least get some points coming out of half.
Yeah, because I think we would have been, we were down, I think, at the half by 7, right? It was what was it, 20-13, was it?
14-10.
Or 14, or was it 14-10?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was 20-13 coming
That's
out
what I
of
say. Yeah, 20-13. Yeah, I figured it was 20-13. I knew we were down by like 6 or 7. So, yeah, to get those points at that time, that was very crucial because like I said, if we wouldn't have got those points there, Pat, we probably would have lost that game.
We, obviously hindsight being 2020, the last those 3 points didn't matter.
Yeah, they
third
did.
of a second, it
Yeah.
did matter.
Yep.
Now let's talk coming out of half because I felt like this was kind of like when the defense started, picking up and stopping the run, like we talked on earlier.
Right.
When it felt like the offense started clicking, it felt like we were exchanging punches for a little bit, and we're just hanging around, waiting for the defense to get that one stop. And I thought they were going to get it on that 3rd and 19.
Yeah.
But then obviously, Lamar, keeps the play alive.
Right.
And we had I think we held them to a field goal that drive. No,
they
they scored a touchdown that drive.
No, I think didn't Zay Flowers score a touchdown? I think they threw it to Zay Flowers. I think he got a touchdown on that drive. I think.
Yes, you are right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And that's another thing. That guy's a punk. I mean, waving at the fans saying, "I'm here now."
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yep.
So I'm gonna let you talk. Let's talk about the third quarter. Then obviously we'll go into fourth quarter. So that third quarter, that's kind of my takeaways from it was, our defense started playing better. It wasn't big play after big play, but they did make some big plays with Zay Flowers and Lamar Jackson, obviously escaping on the 3rd and 19 for a first down.
Yeah. Yeah. The third quarter, it was kind of like you said, going punch for punch. I mean, they got Zay Flowers to get a touchdown, and then I think our next drive, I think we got it down there. I think that screen pass to James Cook for like 75 yards.
51 yards,
or 51 yards. He got down there. And then I think we got it to the goal line, and then I think Josh like snuck it in like over the top.
Yeah.
And then we scored again, and then I think the next Ravens drive, I think did they score a touchdown in that another drive? Did Derrick Henry?
Yes, the next drive they did score a touchdown. That's where they missed the field goal.
Then they missed the field goal. That was huge too. That was a crucial miss by them too. So like them missing that gave us the advantage. And then I think our next drive we went down, and I think we did score again. We tried to go for 2, and I think that the first one was missed by Coleman. But in my review, it looked to me like that one should have counted because he was pushed out of bounds, and the ref did not call the flag for that. So I felt like if they would have called the flag there, then they could have converted that call. What did you think about that one, Pat?
Yeah, the referees were atrocious all game on both sides. Obviously,
yeah.
I felt like Buffalo was kind of more slighted than Baltimore. No bias at all. But on that 2-point conversion, you talk about, it looks like Coleman's running a in route, just a deeper in route. So he runs up towards the back of the end zone, then cuts. And looks like he was jammed and pushed out of bounds by Nate Wiggins, like a special teams play.
Right.
Now that should have been pass interference because the ball wasn't thrown to him. Right. Or it should have been illegal contact or something.
Yeah.
But they called the flag on Coleman, which I did not agree with because that should have been a flag. Sure, if you want to call the flag on Coleman, but you also want to call the flag on Nate Wiggins, fine.
Illegal contact.
Replay the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
Right. That's what they should have done.
And we didn't get the chance to do it.
Coleman's flag never happens if he gets boxed out and pushed out of bounds by Nate Wiggins.
Right.
So it should have been a flag on Baltimore.
Yeah. And then I think the other one we scored on, they did another 2-point conversion. And you could clearly see his jersey like off, and they grabbed the jersey and they got away with another one, and that should have been another 2-point conversion there for us, and didn't get a call or nothing like that. And then another crucial call was when Josh was running the ball, and it looked like he made the sticks, and they said he was short, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. It's like this all over. This is like the Kansas City Chiefs game all over again.
Right. And that's a good segue into the fourth quarter there because coming out in the fourth quarter, we punted on our first drive.
Right.
Or on our second drive. Because there's 11 minutes remaining and we punted. I'm kind of like, McDermott, what are you doing?
Right.
But then let's talk about that slide because even the rules analyst, Gene Sarator, came on and said it goes by where the crown of the ball is when you begin to slide.
Yeah.
When Josh Allen begins to slide, he had the first down.
The ball was clearly past the line. Yep.
Right. Should he have waited an extra second to slide? Yes. Josh Allen usually does that. But, as this year and last year, he's been more smart with when he decides to run and if he's going to run through somebody. Like, I'm sure if this is a playoff game, he's not sliding.
Right.
But it's not. It's week 1. Again, you cannot win a Super Bowl in September.
Now, Patrick, are you
So-
surprised they didn't do the new chain gang where they didn't measure it? Are you surprised they didn't measure it like they should have?
I am surprised because that they did virtual measurement everything in
Yeah,
the
the virtual
preseason,
measurement. Yeah,
but you didn't do it now.
right.
Maybe they don't feel confident about it. I don't know, but you clearly had that, and I don't know why McDermott didn't even throw the challenge flag.
Yeah,
To be honest, like, what's the
Yeah.
point of having the former NFL referee John Perry up
Mhm.
in the booth to tell McDermott what to challenge if you're not going to challenge that? That's
Right.
clear as day.
Yeah,
But again, I get it. Time management. You want to save the timeout just in case they don't give it to you.
Yep.
I get it. Which obviously we needed all 3 timeouts.
yeah.
So luckily he didn't. But
Yeah, I guess that's
That's a
fair
bad call,
too
too.
because we had, like I said, those 3 timeouts at the end were very crucial to us,
yeah,
especially
It
on
was. They
Baltimore's
were.
last drive. I mean,
They were.
using them there. So, but like I said, we can continue going into the fourth quarter here. But yeah, that was a crucial play. Like them, not even looking at it to see if he got the first down. But then I guess because then it was it fourth and 1 when they didn't do it though, or something like that. I think we did convert it though, didn't we?
Yes, we ended up going for it on 4th and 2
Yep.
on their side of the field, which
And I think
we were
we made
going
it.
left, and we got it. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's kind of when you started seeing after we punted on that drive in the 4th quarter, you finally saw the offense rolling.
Mhm.
Okay, we got to get going now. And that's one
Yeah.
thing about the Bills offense. They are slow starters week 1. We
Right.
saw it against Arizona. We come out in the second half and we start flooring points. We
Right.
saw it here in the late 3rd quarter, early 4th quarter. We finally turn it up. And
Yep.
that's when Josh Allen goes 16 for 21 in the 4th quarter. I believe it was
Yeah.
221 passing yards. Then Coleman has 7 targets in the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
Let's take deeper dive into this 4th quarter. Then obviously, Ed Oliver, we stop them.
Yep.
We stop them, and then we come out and score. And let's talk about that play on 4th and 2, where Josh Allen rolls out right. Again, when
Yeah.
Josh Allen rolls out right, when he off-script plays, something's going to happen. Tommy, do you think Josh Allen's throwing the ball to Dawson Knox, Shakir, or Coleman on the deflected touchdown?
It's hard to tell because I thought at first it was looking like it was going to Knox because I thought he was
did.
going to go try to get it, but I mean it could have been to Coleman because even Coleman went down and he dived for it and he got it. So I think it was either going to Knox or Coleman, but I have a gut feeling he was trying to hit Knox there. Pat, I can't hear your mic's.
Oh, somehow I'm muted. Okay.
There
Yeah,
you go.
but thank you. Knox runs a curl. It looks like Shakir runs an in.
Yeah.
Then you have Coleman behind him. So
Uh-huh.
it looks like when Knox deflected it looks like it was going to go to Shakir because if Shakir would have came ran a little bit more to the right, it
Yeah.
looks like Shakir would have had it. But
Right.
then with Keon Coleman's with his athletic ability, he leaps, catches it.
Catches
It
it.
was
Yeah.
like what the finally one of these plays goes our way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was very nice to see.
It was so cool to see that touchdown right there.
Again, that's when I'm pretty sure this team preaches it. But a play is never dead with Josh Allen. It just
Right.
isn't. With this
Yeah.
offensive play is just never dead.
Right.
So that was nice to see. Then let's talk later in the 4th quarter. Monster strip sack. Well, not strip sack.
Oh,
strip by Ed Oliver. Where he took Derrick Henry's lunch money. He got his hand in there and just ripped it out. Then Terrell Bernard with the recovery.
Right.
When it matters the most, Terrell Bernard comes up big. We do
Yep.
have a comment here from Julie. This game was like a car crash. Didn't want to watch, but couldn't look away.
Right.
Exactly. I was getting super frustrated, and I don't know about you guys or anybody watching, but it felt like watching this game. I was like, okay, I'm
Right.
still in shock that the Bills football is back.
Yeah.
And here we are in game of the year, week 1. I'm still I'm trying to readjust, having football back. I'm like, wait, huh?
Right.
Game of the year? It's kind of like I don't know. It's because if our last game was the AFC Championship game, and feelings were high, I felt pressure. But this game, I was, I'm still trying to readjust to this. It's not
Right.
preseason anymore. So then having a game of the year was like, okay. Then late in the 4th quarter, when we started mounting a comeback, when I was like, oh snap, let's go play some ball.
Right.
So Tommy, I know we talked about it earlier, but your thoughts on that strip by Ed
That strip sack was probably like the biggest play of the game, because if we weren't gonna strip sack him, I felt like they were just gonna try to run it down our throats even more, like and bleed that clock, and we would have to use our timeouts, and if we didn't get a stop in that critical time, then the game would have been over. But for Ed Oliver to bust Henry like that and strip that ball right out of his hand, and we get the recovery, I mean, I felt like it was a whole new energy in that stadium. I think everybody knew, okay, this is it. This is where Josh Allen can shine right here with another touchdown and tie the game.
You're right. Now, would you say that this is the biggest play by a defensive lineman in the Sean McDermott being era?
I think so. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I mean, when you look at it, I said this in a Twitter space after the game. When you break it down, right? Usually the Bills lose a heartbreaker, which cost them the 1 seed.
Right.
It looks like this was going to be that game, but then somehow, the Bills managed to get the victory.
Yeah.
Now, maybe this is the game that wins us the 1 seed for once.
Right.
So then let's talk about that final drive on off. Well, second to last.
Well, it's a tie, right? Was that
yes,
the tie?
The tie. Yes.
Is that the one? Was this the play that Josh threw? That was it to Jackson Hawes? Was that the one?
Yes.
And who would have thought Jackson Hawes making a play in a crucial time in the fourth quarter, like a rookie, and he's a rookie. He's a third string tight end. Like who would imagine Josh throwing it to him to make that play? I mean, it just shows how much trust Josh has in his guys, including rookies. Like if he's gonna, you could have been down there, Pat, making a play. Like he would have had full trust in you to make that play if you were out there. So it's like Jackson Hawes, like third string tight end, like that is simply amazing. Like for Josh to trust a third tight end rookie on the team.
No, you're right. And, Josh Allen, is one of the few quarterbacks that puts trust in everybody on the field. If you're out on the field, you're out there for a reason. Now, when I saw that ball thrown, I'm like, holy shit. Pardon my French again, but holy shit. That is a piss missile coming from Josh. Jackson Hawes leaps up, catches it. I'm like, oh, nice catch by Kincaid.
I thought it was Kincaid too. I was like, what?
It's Jackson Hawes.
I'm like, Hawes. What?
The blocker? The third string tight end? What is up with our third string tight end making big plays? They just do it. I'm glad they do it.
Yeah.
Guys like Quentin Moore's always coming up big. Now Jackson Hawes is following in Quentin Moore's footsteps.
Yes.
I loved it. Then obviously, on the final drive, we score that drive. We fail 2-point conversion. We're down by 2 with all 3 timeouts remaining.
Yep.
Baltimore goes out there, runs the ball, then passes the ball, falls short.
Yep.
At 4th and 3, they punt. At that point, Ravens fans last year in the divisional round were arguing, even if Mark Andrews were to catch that 2-point conversion, we would have beat you guys. You guys had a minute and blah, blah, blah.
And Harbaugh said they would have went for it, but Lamar Jackson was having some cramps. But we all know, Ed Oliver,
I find that hard to believe.
And I think it was more than just cramps.
Yeah, I don't think he was cramping because throughout the game he was fine.
Right.
He wasn't cramping. But then that final drive, 1 minute and 26 seconds left, no timeouts. The Bills go in a 2-minute drill.
Yep.
Where they, it all started when Josh Allen rolls out right and got picked up that first off his legs. Then, you had the false start by Deion Dawkins, which I'm like, okay, dang it. Mm-hmm. Coleman, Palmer. On that throw to Palmer, that crosser towards the left sideline, and he runs up just a little bit, that's chemistry. That's something we saw from Hard Knocks. Yep. Josh is like, hey, run this.
Yep.
Then, Josh makes a perfect throw.
Yep.
Because it really was a perfect throw. And then obviously, Keon Coleman with the ankle breaker on Jair Alexander. Pick up those ankles, young man, because you took his ankles.
He did.
And then obviously, the Bills' clock management in that situation, though, was phenomenal. Right. And that's one thing that Sean McDermott is not going to get credit for. Right. It's the clock management in that, in the whole fourth quarter alone.
Let's be thankful Coleman didn't score there, because if Coleman would have scored there, the Ravens would have had the ball back and had more time on the clock. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm glad he tripped.
I was so glad he went down and tripped too. I was like, because it worked out perfect, because we were able to take some knees and cut it down to 3 seconds, and then that's when our big money Prater right there, this was his moment to kick this winning field goal in this epic game, and when he kicked it, I saw a clip that it was very close to getting tipped, where
Todd Hamilton, yes.
it could have failed, but thank God it didn't get tipped, and it just went straight through the uprights, and that's when the victory happened. And yeah, that was just what a victory. That's all I'm gonna say there.
It really was. And when I look at that, Tommy, you know, that's the definition of a true veteran, a guy who is experienced.
Yep.
From a red eye on Thursday, didn't know all his teammates' names. Told Josh Allen before the game, I'm gonna give you everything I got.
Yep.
Goes out there and drills it. Money right down the middle, was almost tipped, which is not, you know, that has nothing to do with Matt Prater.
Right.
Money. And for the Bills to get off the field with the clock running, again, exceptional clock management by the Bills in this game. The Bills looked like the more experienced team in this game.
And they've done that in the past against the Ravens, and I think in Baltimore where we did some similar clock management where we took some knees and we kicked the winning field goal. I think it was like the 2022 or 3 season.
The game where we were down 20-3.
Yeah, we were down. Yep.
We're down by
the same type of situation. So we've had experience with this with the Ravens. So,
and what this game does for a legacy point, Tommy, for Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson, this is the second comeback Josh Allen's had against Lamar Jackson, double digits. One at Lamar's house, one at the crib.
Yep.
Now, Josh Allen does have the better playoff record, right? And I don't know, man. This is a game where, you know, to find, you know, Josh Allen proved why he was the MVP last year. Not that he had to explain it, or that even he didn't have to prove it. He did it though.
We could see this rematch again in the AFC Championship game. So I'm just saying.
We could. And I know we probably will see this team again. Hopefully, the Chiefs and Ravens duke it out in the divisional round though when we have the first round bye.
Yep, I'm hoping we see that. I want to just relax that bye week and just see them two teams just beat each other up. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You know, let both of them make it out of the wild card. You know, if both of them lose whatsoever, I don't care. As long as we win the Super Bowl, I don't care who we beat, who we play.
Yep.
Now, same thing. But it would be nice to have the Chiefs and Ravens face each other in division round and us get the lower seed, 100%. Which means we got the 1 seed for, you know, obvious reasons. That obviously AFC Championship game at home, which we are very, very good at home.
Yeah, very, very good.
Very good at home.
Yep.
Then, like Matt says, a little high mark magic. Julie, the last kick. Marvin was so high back for.
Mine was too, Julie. Mine was too.
I know. That's I know. I'm like, you better make it. I'm kind of waiting for something, you know. I'm waiting for Prater to drill the kick, which he ended up doing. Now, just very quickly, before we can recap the Bills-Jets game, let's talk a little bit about some of the player stats in this game. Okay. Josh Allen went 33 for 46. Let me see if I can pull it up on the screen here. You see this? All right. Yep, it is on the screen. Okay, so Josh Allen right here, as you can see right here, 33 for 46.
Yep.
Again, Josh Allen's a high completion percentage guy. He's not going to throw a lot of incompletions. 394 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 220 something of those came in the fourth quarter. James Cook, 13 carries, 44 yards. Josh Allen with 14 carries, 30. I didn't even realize Josh Allen ran that much.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of crazy. Ty Johnson, 2 catches, 24 yards. Elijah Moore, 1 rush for 8 yards.
Hey, we forgot to mention that Josh Allen broke a record too.
Yes, he did.
He broke Thurman Thomas's rushing touchdown record. I mean, at his age, I mean, it's just unbelievable, like how many rushing touchdowns he has in his career and how he broke Thurman Thomas's record. I mean, a quarterback breaking a running back's record for rushing touchdowns is simply amazing.
You know, congratulations to Josh Allen being in year 8 and breaking a Hall of Famer's record, rushing touchdown record is crazy.
It is very crazy.
That showed you the dual threat that Josh Allen is.
Yeah.
And how he's a touchdown scoring machine.
Yeah.
So congratulations to him. And even Thurman Thomas said, you know, I thought a running back was going to break this, not a quarterback, but it makes it even more special. And Josh Allen also, heading into this year, had the most touchdowns by a player entering year 8. Wow. Josh Allen did it in 7 years.
That's amazing.
So whatever he does this year, just sets the bar higher.
Even higher.
We might never see this. We might never see this record broken again.
No, never. I don't think.
Keon Coleman, 8 catches, 112 yards. A lot of those, 95 of those yards came in the fourth quarter. Came
Yeah.
up big when it mattered the most, which is what we've been asking for late in games, players to come up big.
Yep.
Shakir 6 for 64, Palmer 5 for 61, James Cook 5 for 58, Kincaid 4 for 48 with a touchdown, Jackson Halls with a 29-yard catch,
Yep.
Knox 2 for 20, Elijah Moore 1 for 3.
Yep.
Just what this team getting, spreading the ball out and giving it to everybody eats, and that is what you saw in that game. It's
Yes,
just
sir.
everybody eats. And then right here, we'll touch on this very quick. Total yards, we had more yards than Baltimore, 497 to 432. Passing yards, Lamar had 194. Josh with the 389. Oh yeah, let's include the sack. Okay. Yeah, rushing yards 238 for Baltimore, 108 for us. Yards per play. It's a little high defensively. We definitely want to see that number decrease, especially this week and moving forward. First downs, we outnumbered them 29 to 19. First down efficiency, 7 for 15 for us, 6 for 11 for them. So it was nice to see that our defense was able to get off the field on third down. Just over 50%. It's a nice sign of improvement. But again, that 30 and 19.
We only gave up 1 sack, which is very, very good for our O-line. Like it seemed like we dominated the trenches up front on offense.
Right. In the time of possession, 34 minutes to 25. Not turning the ball over. 23 games in a row, the Bills have not turned the ball over. The Bills have not lost the turnover battle.
That's good.
Very nice to see.
Yep.
The penalty yards, we only had 5. They had 7. Obviously, there's some things to clean up on, but for the most part, Tommy, they look good for a team that has not played in X amount of days.
Right, yeah, 100%.
So, with that being said, I think this is the perfect segue to the Week 2 game.
Preview the Jets.
Yes, we are home we are at MetLife, which, could be Josh Allen's second home, but, we're at MetLife. And just get I'll give you my keys, then I'll let you give your keys to victory first.
Okay, keys to victory. I'm gonna start. I think the key to attack the Jets secondary is do the short intermediate passing game. Like because when I watched some of the tape from the Steelers and Jets game, like the Steelers were attacking that Jets defense like in the short intermediate passing. Yeah. So if we could get guys like James Cook and Ty Johnson involved like in the short passing game, like I think that'll definitely open up some stuff for Josh to take shots on their secondary. So what we need to do is just go attack them in the intermediate passing, and even get Shakir maybe in some screen games too, because like with his speed, I think he could break some runs off on that defense. And then defensive side is just trying to stop the read option with Fields and Breece Hall.
Okay, I like that. I agree with you on all of that. Obviously, Ahmad Gardner did pop up on the injury report,
right,
with a injury. But before we go a deeper dive into this game, let's talk about the injury report as of today.
Okay.
So it starts off with, obviously, we talked about Ed Oliver's injury. Christian Bedford is a full participant the last 2 days with a groin. Brandon Congrington knee was full today. Keon Coleman was full today. James Cook with a hammy was full today. Jordan Hancock's shoulder was limited. Taron Johnson with a quad was limited, which is a good sign.
Yeah,
Dawson Knox he did not practice yesterday. Right.
Yep.
It was limited today. Ed Oliver did not practice. Obviously, we spoke on that.
Yep.
Greg Rousseau, knee was limited. He's been limited the last 2 days, which limited usually means he's going to play, if you ask me. Shaq Thompson limited today with a hamstring/hand injury. And Trey White was limited. Yeah. So looking at that, it looks like the Bills, again, it depends, if the Bills want to be conservative with injuries, or because it's a division game, you want to win it. Set them back even more, which I think that's what the Bills are going to tend to do. Like if you're, Sean McDermott spoke on it in the preseason. Yeah. Guys got to stay on the field. If you can play, you're going to play.
Do you think this week Trey White plays, Pat?
Yes.
Okay.
I think Trey White plays this week, especially I think if Aaron doesn't play, Trey plays. But I do think I expect both of them to be out there, if we're being honest.
Right. So say Taron doesn't play. Do you slot Dorian Strong into the slot?
You could do that, or they give the start to the guy who played in the slot last year in replacement for Taron Johnson. That's Jamarcus Ingram, the guy who had a pick against Tua back in week 3 as well.
Okay.
So he has more game experience in the slot. Sure, they could go with Dorian. Maybe they want to slot Jordan Hancock in there.
Maybe. Yeah.
I know there's been talks about that in the preseason, but that's a good question. Me personally, I think I'll put Jamarcus Ingram out there.
Okay.
Because if it's a slot, but at the same time, Dorian Strong did do good. Develop him now. Dorian Strong did take some reps in training camp in the slot as well.
He did take some reps in slot. Okay, if he did, then maybe they go that route if Taron doesn't play. But if Taron plays, I still think maybe you just use Dorian and the the rotation game with Trey White. Right.
If it's like a running down, maybe I put Dorian out there over Trey White because Trey White's not really a willing tackler.
But Dorian can do that. So
right. But I do expect most of these guys to play. But I guess the big one is Ed Oliver. That's kind of a wait and see until tomorrow's injury report.
I think it's going to be big to see if he practices tomorrow. I feel like if it's a DNP, I think he sits this game.
So do I. But DNP does not play.
Yep.
I agree.
But if he's limited in some fashion, I think there is a good shot he plays.
Yeah, if he's limited, I think he might play. It might come down to, just how he's feeling. Seriously,
right.
It might
or
be
they could limit his snaps. They could limit his snaps, and he could just play a little bit of the game.
Right.
When they need him.
Now, my biggest keys to victory is in the importance of stopping the run. Obviously, Tom, like you said, the Steelers-Jets tape, what we saw was the Jets were out to prove that they were going to run the ball. And that's what they did. They used Justin Fields' legs, and we just went up against that with the Ravens. Sure, the Jets' rushing attack is not as good as the Ravens, but it's still good. So I think it's like a Ravens light. Now,
that's what
I think it's a similar game plan. Shut down the run, shut down the option, watch the RPOs, and don't get beat, in the passing game once they run play action off it.
Right.
Truly. Now, winning in the trenches. The Jets do have a good defensive line. Quentin Williams had a good game. Now, our offensive line did a good job against the Ravens.
Yep.
So, again, I feel like the Ravens and Jets are kind of similar, but the Jets are just worse.
Right.
You feel that way?
I feel that way, yeah.
So winning in the trenches is important, winning in the trenches, the defensive side too. Disrupting the pass, shutting down on the run. Winning in the trenches is very important in games we go against teams that have a good rushing attack and teams that have good defensive line. Yep. Obviously. My other key to victory is just don't turn the ball over. The Jets are okay playing sloppy football and winning. A lot of teams are. A win's a win.
Right.
Do not turn the ball over. Stay within your system. And, I do want to talk a little bit about what the Bills can do offensively to the Jets.
Right.
Like you stated, the Jets were prone to the play action pass in the short intermediate game.
Yes, they were.
What did the Bills thrive on in that fourth quarter, Tommy?
On the short intermediate?
Yes, everybody eats. Kincaid, Knox, Coleman, Shakir. Yep. Shakir's yak ability. Now, if Gardner's playing, if he doesn't, I'm not that high on Gardner. But you're gonna attack Brandon Stevens, the former Raven.
Yeah, he's awful, Pat. I mean, if they put if they put Palmer on, I think Palmer's gonna eat.
Right, and I think that's my biggest key matchup is wide receiver 2, which would be Keon Coleman or Josh Palmer versus Brandon Stevens.
Oh man,
their Bills should win that one all day, all night.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Up and down the field.
Yeah.
And then obviously, running the ball effectively, which we have done a pretty good job with Joe Brady with running the ball effectively against the Jets since Joe Brady took over 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So those are my biggest 2 keys to victory. Then just staying healthy.
Yeah,
I hate playing at
that. I feel like if I were to do a third, execute on special teams as well.
Yeah, because the Ravens. That's actually a very good point because the Ravens got off. They were starting like the 35-40, a little too much.
Mm-hmm.
And how do we not mention that the Bills released Brad Robbins?
Yeah,
they signed they signed Colin Johnston, which looks that could be Sean McDermott.
Tom McDermott's brother, right?
Yeah, right. And Bill Burr, all of
Yeah.
them look alike.
They do, yeah.
So new punter, maybe there's situations where if it's 4th and short, the Bills tend to go for it instead of putting the new punter out there.
Right.
And obviously the Bills did activate Matt Prater after that performance. You kind of had to. Somebody would have steal him off the practice squad.
Prater can make his kicks this weekend.
I'm sure he will. Veteran guy like that was pretty good last year. For the Cardinals, and in his limited role.
We'll say he's still got a leg. His leg is still powerful. So.
Yeah, Unk still has it.
Yep.
But yeah, those are my. And then if I had to choose one more key to victory, it would be. I already talked about the trenches.
Mm-hmm.
We attack the Jets. I don't know. That kind of goes with trenches. Mm-hmm. My third one would be just run the ball. Because we saw that the Steelers were able to, run the ball pretty well too, and especially in the screen game. There's a few plays on the RPO. That's going to be my third key to victory. Don't be used to wide receiver screen early and often in this game. You saw DK Metcalf. He was able to do it effectively in the first half, and they're just keying on it. But the Bills have better pass blocking wide receivers than the Steelers, and they can do it effectively. Give it to Shakir, give it to guys like Elijah Moore, shifty guys in the backfield.
Yep.
Shakir, his yak ability, he will make somebody miss and he will break a tackle.
Right.
So that will be
Pat,
mine.
What are we thinking for score predictions here? I'll let you go first.
I'll let you go first.
Oh, you want me to go first? Okay.
Yeah, you go first.
I got the Bills winning it comfortably. I got the Bills winning 34-20.
Oh, yeah, the Bills win 34-20.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Bills winning 31-23.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is a game where it looks pretty. We make a statement on offense and we do better defensively. And I think this is a game where the Jets get a touchdown late in pop-up time.
Yeah, and in garbage time. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but that about covers everything.
Yep. And do you want me to?
Tommy? Yeah, I'm gonna let you plug our socials.
Yeah. Okay. Everyone, y'all can follow us at Do on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, Kick, and all our social media handlers at Do Champions.
Yeah, and again, I do want to say thank you everybody for coming in tonight. Tommy, you joining me as always, and make sure you check out the Coast to Coast podcast every Wednesday. Make sure you check out me and Tom. Oh, let's start with Buffalo Combat Zone every Monday with Alex Alex Miley, and Randall Slifer. Mm-hmm. As they have the Buffalo Combat Zone on Monday, Beyond and Widow 2K every Wednesday, myself and Tommy every Thursday. Friday, you have Chase and Data. Saturday, you have the Third and Manageable podcast with me, myself, and Student. And Chase is our analytics guy. Is a Ravens fan. Haven't heard from him. Mm-hmm. He might be in hiding.
And one thing, I will not be on next week because I will be at the Bills game on Thursday Night Football against the Dolphins. So Pat will try to find somebody to take my place for next Thursday.
Yes, and then Tommy will be right back with us.
Yeah. Yep.
For week the
following Thursday.
Yes. So again, for myself here and Tommy and Duchenne, thank you. If you guys enjoy the content, like and subscribe. It goes a long way. And good to be seen.
Good to be seen. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliott Apollos, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.